Hello, welcome to the True Mark. Surrendering. What is surrendering? Like surrendering yourself, like when you're doing something in your life that you got no control over anymore. So a lot of people say to surrender yourself to the Lord or to Jesus. I agree to that as well, but I mean, even if you're not a religious person, you got to surrender yourself to something. Like if you could find something in your life to surrender to. Like, I mean, or do you want to live a bitter, better, bitter life, like uncontrolling anger, loneliness, like lonely is a horrible feeling to feel alone. Like, I mean, but if you surrender yourself to something, you have to find something that you could surrender to. Like, I mean, long time ago, I went through a program, like, I mean, for my addiction. And they say you got to surrender yourself to this, like 12-step program.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it's a system in place. So it created a surrendering program. So you could give up all yourself to it, like, and start a new beginning. And that's what Jesus did too. He gave us that opportunity to surrender to Him. God created Jesus, so we have something to surrender to. Maybe you go, I don't want to go to church, I don't want all this stuff. Well, you don't have to. You surrender
Yeah.
yourself to it, so you don't have to feel alone, you don't have to feel unloved, you don't have to feel that anger. Your anger will disappear so fast if you have something to surrender to.
Yeah, that's so true.
And sure, it's scary. Like, I mean, life is a scary place.
Mm-hmm.
And as human beings, we made it scary. Like, I mean, our world was supposed to be a heavenly world. It was supposed to be a
Yeah, it
positive
was.
place of life. That's what God wanted in the first place when He created Adam and Eve, and they made a mess. They did something wrong, and we're all punishing for it. But if we're going to carry on with it and hold them responsible, and us not to be responsible, we can learn from their mistakes and be more responsible.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, we have to surrender whatever is going wrong with our life. Like,
Yeah.
if you're doing something really crazy, you have to really
Give it
drop
up.
down.
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand why churches instead they say, well, you got to surrender yourself to God. And I understand that now, but more so, even if you're not a religious person, you still got to surrender yourself to something. Like, I don't know what you could create out there, but God made this pretty simple to surrender to Jesus Christ
Mm-hmm.
and to start a new slate. So,
Yeah.
either way, if you want to get out of something quickly, you have to surrender. And your relationships, if you have a bad one, you have to surrender to that and walk away from it. You don't go and keep chewing on each
Keep
other.
trying. Yeah.
Well, you keep chewing on each other, it's just going to get escalate to be worse and worse and
Mm-hmm.
worse. So that's the same with mine. I was talking about my houses and stuff, like, and I have friends saying, "Oh, you got to get on them. You got to get on them." You know what? Being in a mess like that, I surrendered myself, you know, to God, and my houses are paid for, so I could come back to them. But there's some people out
Exactly.
there that don't have them paid for, and they gotta really really work fast. But you gotta
Mm-hmm.
surrender faster. It took me a long time to understand that surrendering, and that means put that bad stuff aside and try to find something that you could really clarify yourself to be on a better road. You're no
Mm-hmm.
good if you're pounding yourself against the wall and
Yeah, that's true.
where are you gonna get? It's just gonna escalate worse and worse and worse, and you might get 1 out of 10 and make it through. But I'd rather have all 10.
Yeah.
So if you surrender yourself, you could really put your dots in the right line and get through your day faster, get your week faster, a month, year, and you'll see your growth so much quicker. But first of all, you have to surrender yourself if you're in a bad spot. And I choose Jesus Christ and God, and I find it pretty easy.
Yeah.
And the keys to heaven, that I have something that's really strong that I do daily. And by doing it daily, it's feeding my spirit. And I still got to surrender things, and I still got to look at my life like anybody else's life, and it's just that I get through it a little quicker than I did before
Exactly. Yeah.
because I have that surrendering part and
Hmm.
something to really look forward to and to understand. And I'm really grateful that God created Jesus Christ, so it makes
Me
it a
too.
lot easier to surrender to something and make my my life a lot easier to keep going.
Yeah. It's like a helping hand. He's like there to
100%.
help you do everything.
Yeah, it's if we didn't have it, we would be still stuck in that ring, and you can't get out, and you will get out eventually. But and it means the tearment and the hurt, the anger, and the loneliness, and everything that eat at you and eat
Yeah, it
at you and
gets
eat
to
at
you.
you, and and it could drive you to go drink, get drunk, go do adultery, do whatever because of that being trapped and
Hmm.
doing crazy things
There's nothing to help you pull yourself out of that.
yeah, you need that surrendering part. If you have something to surrender to, believe me, you'll be able to get through a lot faster. And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you about how I've experienced myself, and it works. It really does. And that's why a lot of these people go to AA or the Alcoholics Anonymous things and stuff, and they have a 12-step program. Well, God is more than a 12-step program, but you still got to put things in line. But if you don't have
Hmm.
a first step, you got nothing anyways.
That's
So
true.
you need that first step. And if you're out there and you're not a religious person, you still got to create something to make that happen, or else you're just going to keep going in circles, you know. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Life's a big place. It's the world's a big place,
It definitely is. Yeah.
but your world in like if we're in our city and you're in the other side of the world or in the middle of the world,
Hmm.
we're all in the same boat,
I know.
wherever we are. But I don't know. Like back to surrendering. It's what else would it mean? Like to not give up if you're in a real bad place, right?
Yeah.
And then sort it out. I remember
Hmm.
when I used to paint cars and do body work, and I'll struggle on a car. I remember this old guy told me, he says, Calvin, walk away. If you're struggling on something, walk away. And that's the same thing. Surrender to that part and walk away and think out your sorts to come back. And then when you come back, it's like magic.
Yeah.
It works out better. And that's surrendering even that. And that was just a small factor, just not understandable. I didn't understand the surrendering.
Yeah, because you felt like you had to do it right then and there. But then,
Yeah, but I struggled, and I went over and over and wasting material, kept on going, doing it back, keep going at it, keep going at it. And that's the same thing, like in a relationship, if you have or you're barking at each other consistently, you need to walk away. And once you walk away, surrender yourself, wait it all out, and before you know it, you could patch things up so quick.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
true.
with anything in your life, your job.
That's because you're putting your energy in the right things. You're not wasting your energy on a bunch of negative things
Yeah, but you
to
need
bring you
that.
down.
But we still need that thing to look at, to surrender to. If you have nothing to surrender to, you're gonna keep barking harder, you know,
Mm-hmm.
or you're gonna feel so lonely a lot longer,
Yeah.
and your anger ain't gonna be able to wash away. Because I mean, you'll hold on to stuff a lot longer,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
that's what I want to share with you, anyways. And it just came just out of nowhere. But I mean, it's through experience as well. But if you could have been doing it for years and years and years, and you still don't understand because you didn't understand that part of surrender,
Mm-hmm.
right? And by having that opportunity, like, I mean, God created Jesus Christ, and Jesus died on that cross, so we can surrender to Him and plead with Him, have your communications, and then all of a sudden, you out of nowhere, things start working out for you. And why is that? Because it's an inner power,
Mm-hmm.
right?
If you put your mind to it, then you're able to do it. But if you're focusing on other things, then that's what your brain focuses on, and you can't truly focus on the thing that you're trying to improve.
Yeah, because we're taught as human beings, as like when we go to school, you know, you're taught
Mm-hmm.
certain things, and education will teach you so much. In the real world, like, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff out there that education can't teach you. So it's
That's
like
completely true.
it's hands on. And if you have that opportunity to have that hands on, then you're got a better gift or whatever. But I mean, show other people that it's, you know, how to get out of certain things, like to spare your energy,
Mm-hmm.
because it's energy, when you burn it up fast, well, obviously you're going to get tired quicker. But if you're burning less energy, you're going to have more awake time.
Yeah.
You're going to have more spirit time. Like, your mind ain't going to be overloading so much. But that's why, like, if a person doesn't have that thing to look at, you turn to alcohol, drugs, like I said, anything else other than to live that better, positive life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, what do you think is we're on a good subject, or?
Yeah, I think this is a good one.
But anyways, like, people out there, surrender to something, and you'll move forward a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna hold on to your old ways, you're gonna have a rough
You
ride.
can't really move forward if you're holding on to old things in your life.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be harder to move anywhere. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you're gonna be always banging your head against stuff, and that's like anything. Like, with your work, you're struggling, just take a break. Go
Mm-hmm.
have a coffee, go have a tea, go.
Relax
You
your
know,
mind so you can come
well,
back better.
it's the same thing. You're surrendering there, but you
Mm-hmm.
just don't understand the concept of surrender, right? But I mean, when you do, you got a better chance. But like I said, I use Keys to Heaven as a day-to-day program that I read or listen to. So it's feeding my spirit to give me a better outlook, and better ideas come. Like, even with the surrendering thing and the understanding of it, it's my spirit that picked up on it, not me as a
Mm-hmm.
person, or else I would have picked up maybe 40 years ago.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be in that mess I went in through most of my life. But I just wanted to share it with you guys out there, and hopefully, well, I know it works 100%.
From your own experience.
Yeah. So even if you do it in a small step, and it's for all ages, right?
Yeah.
For even a kid, you having a hard time out there, surrender yourself. Just go over, take a break. Not because your parents told you to take a break, just take a break and then come back to whatever you're doing. You'll be able to get through it so much
Mm-hmm.
quicker. And it's all ages. It doesn't matter, like from the young to the oldest. Surrendering is a good thing. And I advised just practice on it. Like give it a try. What do you got to lose? And
Lots
I,
of I'm
well,
sorry. Lots of people are scared to like surrender themselves because they don't want to like give up, but it's not necessarily giving up. It's just taking that moment to come back as a better person.
or to weed out your
Yeah.
whatever you're struggling with.
Mm-hmm.
You take that time out. But like I said earlier, like God created Jesus to give us that time out and more something to surrender to.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it so much easier so that we could grow into a better person as a human being, or have your house in a better state or
Yeah.
anything. Because you have something to look forward to,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? So I don't know, like there's lots to learn. Like we got the whole life to learn, and even on these news about these flying saucers, or what do you call them
Drones.
drones, people are being scared to it. Why be scared? You can't
Mm-hmm.
stop it. You can't stop
Exactly.
it. Surrender to it and just let it happen. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Like, you're going to bust your head, worry about it. You're going to be worried, scared.
Then you're wasting all like the last of your life worrying when you should be
Your
doing.
energy
Yeah.
is being robbed from you.
Mm-hmm.
So even for the simplest things, surrender yourself to the hardships. Surrender. Like, even if you got to face up to whatever you're going through. If you don't
Yeah.
face it, it's like, even things they say, well, you're scared about that. You face your fears. What happens? You aren't going to be scared no more,
Yeah, and you feel
right?
better. The longer you put it off, the fear is not gonna go away. It's still gonna be exactly where you kind of left it. So you
Yeah,
have
or
to,
else it'll get stronger and
yeah,
stronger. Like, or
because then you're scared because you put it off. And why?
well, and that's where anxieties come from, negative energy, and then positive energy brings more of a glory, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're negative, it drains you, and then it puts you in that worry. So you got to put that beside you, and as long as you have something to fall on. If you don't have nothing to fall on, it's going to be harder to really look at it and get through it quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So I just believe that surrendering is a good thing, and it makes your life a lot easier if you can understand it
Yeah.
and and practice it. Because once you practice it, you'll get better at what you're doing, and you'll get through your day, week, month, year,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever. A bad relationship, you'll be able to fix it, you know,
Yeah, definitely.
because you're able to see what's going wrong,
Mm-hmm. And
and you
then you
can
can
either
work on
fix it.
that
Yeah, you work on it. Your workplace will become faster, because you'll be able to organize
because
your workplace better.
you understand it better. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, and it's all from one simple thing, and that's surrender, right?
Mm-hmm.
It makes it so much easier. Like, but till next time.